Create new project. So by default, Visual Studio having multiple templates. Okay, while installing, if we select Azure or SharePoint, whichever template, so related to SharePoint, if we select means all the template related to SharePoint also will be available. Okay, that will come later part. Okay, so
Okay.
I'll just selecting console application .NET framework.
Yeah.
Okay. So if we give the project name, solution name will also be same. And here framework .NET framework 4.5 I'm selecting. Okay, these things you ignore stuff now. Okay, what is 4.5 in which version SharePoint work? Those things and all you currently ignore. Okay, you don't think too much about .NET framework. So only thing is we are working in .NET framework. Okay, this part we will come later. Okay, so as we selected console application, this will be the default solution structure. There will be a program.cs program class file, and inside there is a main method. Okay, so in the right hand side, if you see references, these things and all you know, right? System.core. So these are the default DLLs. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so if we need to add some functionality, whatever, if you want to add SharePoint related functionality or Azure related, if you want to connect with the SQL server, DLS related to that, we need to add here only. Then only we can refer that namespace. Okay, so this is the basic. Whatever the DLLs available here, those DLLs only we can use in the solution. Okay, and the structure would be namespace class members and functions. Okay, this will be the actual structure. Whatever we have written here using system, these are the namespace we call. Okay, what is namespace? It's a collection of classes. Okay, if we want to include any class, we need to have that namespace on top. Then only that we can use that class. Okay. Class is same thing, collection of
A
objects
collection
and
of members.
function and members. Okay. Whatever we are going to define inside the class only we need to do. So, say for example, I'm creating class class test public word print console dot write line. Console dot write line means it will print the output in that command window. Message. So if we need to call this function from here, you can see both are different classes. Okay, but they are in the same on the same namespace. Okay, if you want
Okay.
to call this print function inside this main method, first we need to create object for this class.
Mhm.
Yes. Then we can directly call using that object. Okay.
Can we create number of objects with the same class name in different
Yes,
classes?
multiple objects we can create. Yes. Console.read. Why I have written this now? So I don't want to. So I'll show you. If I don't write this console.read, when I execute the code, it will print and it will disappear. Okay. So I don't want to disappear. That's why. So for each console application, we will be writing at the end. We'll be writing console.read on. Then only the screen won't close automatically. Okay, you can see test message. Okay. So what is the purpose of I told right? I close this window right now. Purpose of console.writeLine is to print the message. Console.read is to get the message uh, from us. Say for example, if you want to give some input to the code, means using this console.write read, we will be getting input from us. Okay, so that's why that window didn't close automatically. Okay, so one more thing, if you want to debug the code, here we need to place the breakpoint. Okay, if we place the breakpoint anywhere, if you start, it will hit that breakpoint. Then using F10 and F11, we can debug. For F10, it will go next line. So inside the method, you go and debug means if you press F11, it will go inside that child class and child method. From here, you can press F10 and it will, once it is completed, we came back to parent method and it is done. Okay. And this is the one. And I'll show you if we have, I'm adding new class. Class2.cs I'm adding. Okay. So by default, its namespace also same. So I'm changing the namespace to 2. Here, same method I'm copy pasting. If you create object for that class, it will throw error. Why means namespace for that class is not added here. Okay, using K2 class 2 we need to add. So that's why it is giving that pop-up. Okay, if you click on it, it will automatically resolve it. You can see here that K2 class 2 namespace is added. So once it is added, we can use that class. We can access that members in that class from here using this object. Now class 2 dot print. This message from class 1. So both the methods are called. Okay, any doubt in this?
No, I understood.
You understood it? Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the basic one. Okay, writing a code, and we need to write everything inside the class. And if we want to call particular class, we need to create object for that class. And using that object, we can access all the members inside the object. Okay, this is the default one.
In
And
that
we call
class2.cs, we can also use the methods in class 1, right? By adding that KT class for namespace.
yeah, yes, we can. I'm creating object for this test. Using K2 class one. Okay, we can create object for that classes available in that main.
Mhm.
From here we can access all the methods. Okay, and here one more thing. So if you see static void main, if you notice it, it's static. Of we are calling this main method without any object, right? It is directly executing, right? So how it is executing means we are mentioning this static. Okay, if we don't mention static, it will throw error. It won't run. Program does not contain a static main method suitable for any entry point. Okay, static is the where we'll be using. Now if we want to access particular method without the object means we need to use static.
Okay.
Class static sample public static And if you call this print method from static sample, you don't need to create the object. Print automatic directly you can call. Why means the keyword static. Okay, I comment this test static message. Okay, so without object, if you want to call particular method, this is the option. Okay, and here and this is about calling the methods. Okay, here we saw static, and the next one is void. We have mentioned, right? Each method we have mentioned void, right? So void means it is not returning anything. Okay, say for example you are doing some activity in that method and you want to get some value from that method, means we need to use whatever the variable it should return, we need to use there. Okay, say for example class return sample public static string I'm mentioning. Okay, string name. If you see, so here and all, if you don't mention anything, it won't show this error message, but here it is showing the error message because it should return this string. This method should return something from this method, it should return something, then only it will fulfill. Or else it will give compile time error. You can see return string sample dot name of not all code paths return a value. Okay, I'm mentioning string name equal to Sriram return name. The return name is from this method we will get the value name. Okay, you got it right. So if I call this method string name equal to sample dot name, so we'll have the value Sriram here. Okay, if we print here console dot write line of putting breakpoint here. I'm pressing F10. So you can see the value, the method return sample dot name of returned value name here. Okay, so we are using that variable name here in this console.write now. So it will print hello Sriram. Okay. So you've seen static, the variable, the type of the variable you should return. If you don't want anything to be written, we need to mention void. Okay. If we need a string, we can return integer, or it's float. Float means like digits 1.0, 1.2, 1.3 like that. Okay. There are many variables. Even Boolean also it will return. It is throwing error because it is a string value. We need to return true or false. Then only it will complete. Okay. Likewise, there are many variable, many return type available. You go through whatever the options are available, and you try to, say for example, you can compare between two numbers, and which is if A is bigger than B, written true, written false. Like that, you can try to code. Okay. So if what I'm saying, there is one more. I got that. String. I write public static string bool compare number integer. Is bigger by default. I'm giving values false. If class size, if it's to check particular condition, A greater than B, return is bigger. So here I have written int A, int B. What it means now, inside this bracket, whatever we are writing, we are passing these values to this method. Okay, means we are going to process the inputs whatever we are passing here. Okay, the purpose of this method is we are passing two variables in two integers A and B. Okay, and in this method we are comparing A with B. If A is greater than B, we are returning it's is bigger, means it is true. If it is lesser, means it will return false. Okay, purpose of this method is comparing two integers in. Okay, by using it, this child equal to the method static sample compare number, and if you click open bracket, it will show what are the input we need to pass. Okay, without passing, if you close it, means it will throw error. We need to pass You can see the error message. There is no argument given the corresponding to the required format parameter. Okay, means it need two integer values. Okay, I pass 5 comma 6. If true, here we can write else. Oh, it won't come. Did you notice what I have written? Okay, I have mentioned true. Okay, okay. That's why here it is showing it is unreachable code detected. Unreachable code means here I passed true. So always it will be true, right? So it won't go to the else part. That's why it is showing the error message like that. Okay, what I mean, instead of mentioning value result, I have mentioned as true. That's why this message came. Okay, I corrected it to result. Okay, I comment the first, this one I commented. I'm pressing F11 and I'm going inside the compare number method. Okay, you can see there's a method compare number and value of integer A is 5, value of integer B is 6. Okay, A greater than B, no. So it is returning false, result false. Okay, any doubt in this? Hello? Hello, are you there? So so shall we take till 10:30, or for you have any other work, because class is 9 to 10, right? So just would like to check with you. Is it fine till 10:30? Shall we take? Okay, fine. Okay. Okay. That's it about the returning the values. Okay. And here you can see this is the access modifiers. Public is the access modifier. Okay. Purpose of the access modifier is we are mentioning whether particular method is accessible from anywhere or not. Okay. Public means it can be accessible anywhere. There are many access modifiers. Mostly we'll be using public, private, internal. Okay. These are the major access modifier we will be using it. Okay. If we use public, allowing to access the method from anywhere, from anywhere. If we mention private, this class can be accessible only inside that class. This method, sorry, this member or method only inside that particular class. Okay. Internal means it can be accessible only inside that project. Okay, we can't like say for example here system.code, these and all the DLLs, right? It is exposed, right? If we convert the particular project and we are adding kt-class-1.dll, like that we are adding, in that case we can't use the particular member. If we mention particular class or method as internal, that time externally we can't use. Only inside the project we can use. Only in the project we can use. Okay. Mm, these are the three major access modifiers. Will show you. If we remove public, you can see it is throwing error. What is the error message? You can see is inaccessible due to its protection level. So if we don't mention public means it is considered as private class, private method. Okay, only inside particular class it can be called. If you call from this name, you can see here it is not giving any error. Means it is inside the same class. Both are inside the same class. That's why it is not throwing error. Okay. If you want particular method or members to be accessible outside means we need to give proper access modifier, and you want to restrict particular member or method not to be allowed means we can give private as the access modifier. Then it won't be allowed. Okay. Even class, for the class also we can mention the access modifiers. By default, if we don't mention any class, it is considered as the internal. Okay, we can wait. Public static compared to now that error message you can see disappeared. Okay, this is elements defined in a namespace cannot be explicitly protected. Okay, it is showing. Okay, inside the namespace we cannot mention as a private class. Okay, outside if we it is outside, right? Okay, this one I'll check and I'll come up. Okay, and then about mentioning the access modifier for class and classes. Okay, how to restrict particular class and not to be accessible, like private classes, internal classes. Those things I'll check and I'll let you know. Okay, and these things and all we covered, right? And different namespaces, and we can create folders. Help us like it, whatever based on the solutioning we can create multiple folders, and inside the folders we can create common helper. So this is best practice what I am mentioning right now. Okay. So instead of adding all the CS files directly in the project, we can create the folder structures properly. So that the project will looks good, and if it goes any review or auditing, they feel good. Okay, it's particular project is in good form and it's properly created like that. Okay, based on particular creating folders, those things and all depends on the project what we are working. So for each component we can have separate folder, and items related to the component can be placed in that particular folder. Okay. And if you see common helper, you can see namespace name kt class 1 dot helper. Okay, if you need to add access any members inside this common helper, we need to add this namespace in the main method. Okay, and you can see difference between system color of the keyword system and other namespaces. Okay, so why this difference is only system namespace we are using, all other namespaces and all we are not using in this particular uh, in this particular program.cs file. Okay, that's why it is in grade. So only system is using, it is in black color, and others are like in gray color, right? Because just because it is not used. Okay, if you feel you don't want to keep all unused namespace, means you can click right click, there is option remove and sort usings. If you click this, all unused usings are removed. Okay, again if you want to call method or class from other functions, we can directly click here and you can add, it will be automatically added. Okay. And you can see app.config. So purpose of this app.config is the configuration files. Say for example, if you are going to connect any SQL, and or if you are going to connect if you are going to connect SQL, means you need connection string. Okay, what is the SQL server, what is the database name, username, password, all those things will be available in the connection string. That connection string details and all you can mention here. And SharePoint site means SharePoint site URL, username, password. So the common values whichever you are going to mention, you can add in this app.config. Okay, from the app.config you can directly get values inside the solution anywhere. Okay, so the purpose of app.config is it's a center place. What are the configurable values required for this project, we are mentioning in this place. Okay. um, that's it about the basics of this dot like C# coding. Okay, there are multiple options. Like I'll tell you, we have covered class, object, methods, members, static class, namespace. And these are the default and basic things we have covered. Okay, if you consider out of not out of object-oriented programming, there are multiple concepts are available. Object-oriented concepts are available. Okay, if we can say runtime, polymorphism, compile time. I don't go into that. You when you find time, you go through these concepts. inheritance, overloading, overrating, constructor, constructor, different types of classes. There are different types of classes: sealed class, abstract class, partial class. Okay. There are many classes. Okay, you go through these are the major concepts. Okay, if you go with any .NET solution, these are the important concept we should know. Inheritance, overloading, override, and members also we have discussed, right? Various members, string, int, float. Okay, what are the members available? And you go through this concept, okay, when you find time. Because for .NET coding, you should know this concept: what is inheritance, what is overloading, overwriting, constructor, and kind of classes. Sealed, we say sealed class, abstract class, partial class. These are an interface also. Interface I'll cover. Okay, go through this concept. I'll quickly say what is interface. Okay, there is a option if you add new item. You can see there is a interface. Okay, in I'm selecting helper. Okay, you can see it's a namespace. Inside namespace, instead of class we have mentioned as an interface. Interface means here we can only declare the variables and methods. We can't define. What is declare and define means, you can see this is the print method. What is going to happen in the print method we have defined. Okay, whatever going to happen inside the print method we have written the code, right? That is what called defined. Okay, declare means we are only declaring it, we are not mentioning what is going to happen inside the method. Okay, say for example, public void calculate. What calculate? Okay. So inside the interface, we can only declare. That's why we have declared all the two methods, calculate and print. Okay. If you try to define, it will throw error. Default interface implementation. For implementation, it is not the place. We can only declare. That's why it's throwing error. Okay. And purpose of having interfaces like need solution by uh, two way there is a concept called multiple inheritance. Okay, to implement multiple inheritance we'll be using interface, and one more of way is like it's a clean solutioning. So but first we are declaring the all the required methods, then we are using it. Okay, so what were the methods available for the particular class, we don't need to go inside that class, and we don't need to check. Okay, this is the best practice, we can say. Using the interface is the best practice. Okay, wherever we are going to some complex projects, instead of going to write particular methods or members directly, first we need to give interface, and we need to declare the variables. From there only we can we can add this helper in as inheritance. From here we need to call all the methods. That's the best practice, we'll be following it. Okay, and one more best practice, no, we should not give the variables. So whenever you start writing the code, you don't give the variables like A, B, C, D, I, J, K, like that. Okay, you know the functionality, right? Based on the functionality only, you need to give the variable name. Okay, whatever, say for example, here I have written, right? So calculate means you should not give calculate. What is the calculation you are going to do? And print and try to define. So whatever the function you are going to do, give the relevant name. Okay, that's the best practice for giving the variable method name. Both the cases you need to follow. And one more thing, commenting it. Okay, that's also the important one. Okay, if you start writing in before start writing any method, if you click three times, you need to give three slashes. If you give three slashes, it will come summary. Here, the summary means purpose of this method. Method to return my name. Okay, I'm giving sample. Okay, so that even in future, even if you come and see, or someone else from your team come and see, they will easily understand the code. Okay, what is the purpose of the particular method? And even inside the method also, so wherever you are doing some major operations, you can give single line comments. Compare A and B. Like that, you give the comments. Okay, this is the best practice. Okay, don't have a habit of writing the comments and adding the comments whenever you are writing it. Okay, don't think like we will add at the end. Okay, that will be having burden, and you'll forget to add. Okay, whenever you are writing the code, if you start adding the command means it will be useful, and it will be you will be having good practice of it. Okay, in future also will be start doing it. Okay. Mm, that's it from my end for today. Do you have any query? The method we defined in the interface can be used anywhere. Yes, purpose of it is we need to. I told right there is concept called inheritance. Just go through what is inheritance. Like, you go through inheritance. How to add? I'll tell you in one way. What is inheritance? Okay, there is a class two. Okay, if sir, after adding public class only it is around. So purpose of adding like this is it's a inheritance. Whatever the methods we have defined in this class 2, it is directly accessible. Directly accessible means we don't need to create object or nothing. Okay, all the classes available in the print directly we can access. It is giving error. You can see right. uh, we didn't give class 2 dot print off or something. Directly whatever the there is a method print directly it is accessible in this program class. That's the purpose of inheritance. So if, it's like parent child relationship only. Okay, in the parent class we can define all the required methods or members. Okay, in the child class if there is something needed means we can inherit that particular parent class, and in the child class we can directly access the members or methods whatever it is. Okay, you go through the concept, that inheritance concept. Okay, that is the very